let's try to get clarity on the Senate Impeachment Court's timeline on VP Sara Duterte's trial. And joining us tonight is the court spokesperson, Atty. Regie Tongol. Good evening. Welcome to the big story, Attorney. So,
good evening to everyone. Nice to be back.
Is it August 4, as one senator had said? May you give us an idea how the trial will proceed?
Well, there is no official decision yet by the presiding officer. However, the internal meetings that was disclosed by Senator Judge Villanueva might be just that, just a proposal to have the actual trial already start by August 4. However, we know as well that a few of the senator judges as well is pushing for an earlier date, and I think the presiding officer is listening to all the senators and the propriety of convening the impeachment court by July 29 or just right after the State of the Nation address.
Mm-hmm. So how will this decision come about? Will there be a caucus, or is the presiding officer going to just poll everybody on his own?
We expect by July 29, once the Senate convenes as a legislative body, that one of the senators proposing an earlier convening, just like what happened last July or June 9 and June 10, that one of the senators will come up and move for the convening of the impeachment court and the swearing in of the senator judges who has just been re-elected or elected last elections. So we expect that the senators will need to vote on whether or not they will convene on the afternoon of July or whatever date that they will set by July 29.
Okay, and of course you also submitted, I'm talking about the Senate Impeachment Court, a manifestation ad cautelam to the High Court in reply to its on-bank, what do you call it, a letter or a document asking a bunch of questions, mostly directed at the House of Representatives. What can you tell us about that, Attorney?
Well, basically, it reiterates just the comment that was earlier filed by the Senate Office of Legal Counsel last March when the Supreme Court asked the parties to comment on the petition filed by Atty. Torion and the other lawyers. So the manifestation ad cautelam, because we are again being asked to reply or to send a answer to the questions posed by the Supreme Court in its resolution, we just manifested again that the Senate has no personal knowledge of the facts or information being asked of it. And as these matters from the letters A to K or 11 items are within the purview of the House of Representatives in its power to initiate the impeachment process. So it's just a matter, of course, that we just filed that in order to comply with the requirements of the Supreme Court.
This is the Senate's position, correct?
Correct, yes.
Is it not that all other senators should be consulted about this manifestation, or can the legislative staff just draft this manifestation?
I think the Senate President, as part of his administrative powers as the head of the majority of the senators, may already use his power in order to answer the Supreme Court regarding the compliance that is being asked by the Supreme Court. And as you remember, says the resolution also contains a period that is non-extendable, which will be ending by June 22 or Tuesday for the Senate, and
July, you mean?
July rather. So there are no more matters that the Senate can provide or information that it can provide the Supreme Court. So it just redirects the information back to the House of Representatives.
So basically, the Senate didn't get another letter because when I read the 2 pages or 2.5 pages from the Supreme Court, I thought it was specifically addressed to the House. So all the Senate got was an exact copy of what was sent to the House.
Correct. The courts usually send it to all the parties.
Well, Attorney Regie, given the involvement now of the Supreme Court, how does the Senate view its role as an impeachment court? Is it purely reactive at this point to whatever the Supreme Court will dictate or ask of you? Or are you still actively preparing for the possibility of a trial?
If you look at the wording of the manifestation that we filed last March and the manifestation that was filed yesterday, it is both manifestations are ad cautelam or with caution. That means that the Senate is still asserting its power to solely try and decide all matters regarding the impeachment. So that is the thing that's quite telling with the filing of the Senate. So it means that the Senate is still proceeding as it is, absent any temporary restraining order issued by the Supreme Court.
Okay, because attorneys, some critics are concerned that senator judges can use the involvement now of the Supreme Court as a delaying tactic in proceeding with this impeachment trial. How do you respond to that?
Those things are within the realm of possibilities. We cannot discount the fact that some senators who are averse to the continuation of the trial might push for said motion to stop the proceedings, but at the same time, we also expect senators who are for the proceeding of the trial to counter the arguments of the other senators. So it is up to the Senate as an impeachment court or as a legislative body once it convenes on July 29 to vote on it, on what course it will take.
But what's the inclination as of now, Attorney Tongol? Because we've seen all the surveys, so kahit ano pang survey firm yan, most of the results say the same thing. Everyone wants a trial to proceed. A lot of senators have spoken up, and Senator Risa earlier today also said that there's numbers na matutuloy ito. Can the public take this as a guarantee na talagang kasado na, and it's just a matter of whether pagbukas ng Congress on July 28, 29, or August 4?
That is what is peculiar with this judicial and political proceeding that is the impeachment. The senator judges are actually monitoring what the public sentiments would be at a certain period in time in the process of the impeachment. So that's why a public discourse and public pressure is very important in order to persuade the senator judges to decide in favor or against an action or a motion. So it's a welcome development that the process is being seen as something that can actually continue, but at the same time, the public should also not tire in trying to reach out to their senators and the other officials regarding the process itself.
You also mentioned, Attorney, in your manifestation ad cautelam, yung items A to E, yung first 5 items, are exactly the same questions that the Senate wanted to find out from the House of Representatives. I take it na they haven't actually answered you guys. And how will this interplay when they respond to the Supreme Court based on the answer? Will that also affect the timeline of the impeachment trial? I think Attorney froze.
Okay.
Were you able to...
If you look at the June, can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, if you look at the June 10 order of the Senate Impeachment Court, it's not as detailed as what the Supreme Court is asking the House to answer. So since the issue on the first compliance as regards the one-year bar rule, the Senate Impeachment Court only wants an assurance from the House of Representatives that it did not violate such. It did not even inquire as to the nitty-gritty details of how the complaints were initiated or were referred and were acted upon by the different personalities in the House of Representatives.
But the manifestation says that, actually.
Yes. Yes, because these things, the order of the impeachment court wanted to ask the House about those things. But the certification that was given by the House of Representatives to the Senate is just a two-pager certification that they did not violate. So if this certification will already be compliant with what the impeachment court wants, we have to see once the impeachment court convenes and the senator judges decide on the next course to take, and once it notes said compliance from the House of Representatives.
There have been observations that this is an overreach by the Supreme Court. What is your own point of view? Of course, you'll say no.
Well, the matter of overreach, that's one view of certain lawyers and people advocating for a certain narrative. The impeachment court, like any other court, and the Supreme Court, like any other court, has inherent powers to do its due diligence in inquiring into the facts regarding the matters that are put before it decides. So it is just a matter of using that inherent powers to get the information so that it can decide on the issue at hand.
Attorney, what about the oath-taking of the newly elected senators? Is it still possible that it could take place before the 20th Congress, or will it happen already on or after July 28th?
Well, if you look at the order of June 10, the compliance by the House of Representatives to the two certifications would be the condition sine qua non in order for the impeachment court to actually convene. If the House of Representatives can already give by July 29, by July 29, then the impeachment court can be moved by one of the senator judges to already convene and tackle the matter. So and also by July 29, we are expecting as well that the impeachment court will be asked to have the 12 senator judges to already take their oaths. So there are many things that's going to happen on July 29, and we can only hazard a guess as to the order of things and how these things will proceed by then.
Plus, we already know that Senator Bato will move for the senators to vote, well, if he succeeds, on whether the 19th Congress can carry over into the 20th, right? He already has disclosed this publicly.
Correct. Mukhang mag-uunahan sila sa podium. Kung sino yung mauunang motion, of course. Of course, kung sino maunang motion doon, una munang i-dispose yung motion na yon. So, however, as you remember, the second certification being asked from the House of Representatives will actually address the concern by the Senator Judge De La Rosa as to whether or not the 19th Congress actually proceed and continue in the 20th Congress.
So August 5 looks like a more realistic date.
Correct. You also have to remember, Cess, that the impeachment court, when it issued the summons to President, it did not set a date and time for her to appear. And under Step 7 of the impeachment rules, the appearance must be ordered by the impeachment court. So awaiting the compliance of the House of Representatives and the appointment of the prosecutors, I think the impeachment court will also have to schedule and send another notice to the Vice President as to appear.
Okay. But another thing is, well, you can say also, let's just wait. Some senators can say, let's just wait for the Supreme Court to decide. You know, that's a possibility, right? In the realm of possibilities.
Correct. That's within the realm of possibility. So sabi ko nga, mag-uunahan na lang sila sa podium kung sino yung mauna doon.
Any idea how that will go up? May draw lots ba? May raffle ba? Takbuhan ba ito, Attorney Tongol?
You raise a
The
point of order. I think that's what you do, right?
officers have been elected, there will be a majority floor leader and a minority floor leader, and any motion by the minority will have to pass through the minority leader, and he will be the one to move for the recognition of the senator judge and also the majority leader. So in the order of business, it has to be put into record the said motions of the senators.
We thank you for joining us tonight, Atty. Regie Tongol, for all your clarifications. As they say, abangan ang susunod na kabanata. Thank you. That was impeachment court spokesperson, Atty. Regie Tongol.